Here are 10 shocking facts about Vietnam that will leave you speechless. From Vietnamese people eating fertilized duck eggs to crossing your fingers being considered super rude, we are going to cover it all. Ready? Fact 1. Did you know that some beverages are considered more than just a drink in Vietnam? Prepare to be amazed by a tradition that's as unique as it is surprising. Imagine stepping into a local shop in Vietnam, the air heavy with the aroma of exotic herbs and spices. Amidst the shelves, you spot something unusual, bottles filled with whole snakes. This is snake wine, a traditional Vietnamese concoction that dates back centuries. Snake wine, or rue ran, is made by infusing whole snakes, often venomous ones, in rice wine or grain alcohol. The belief is that the essence of the snakes, including their purported medicinal properties, seeps into the liquor over time. It's a practice rooted in traditional medicine and cultural heritage, with some considering it a delicacy and others valuing its supposed health benefits. Vietnamese snake wine, rue ran, is a traditional alcoholic beverage that involves infusing whole snakes in rice wine or grain alcohol, a practice dating back to ancient times. Fact 2. Curious how Vietnamese honor their ancestors. During special occasions like the Vietnamese Lunar New Year, Tet, or funerals, you might witness a unique practice: the burning of fake paper money known as spirit money or ghost money. This ritual is a form of ancestor worship, where the money is burned as an offering to the deceased. The belief is that by burning these offerings, the spirits of the ancestors receive prosperity and good fortune in the afterlife. It's a way for the living to provide for the needs of the dead and show respect for their ancestors' memory. The burning of spirit money is a common sight in Vietnam, especially during important family gatherings and ceremonies. Vietnamese people burn fake paper money, known as spirit money or ghost money, as offerings to the deceased, a practice deeply rooted in culture and part of ancestor worship beliefs. Fact 3. Ever heard of a superstition that links haircuts to exam performance? Brace yourself for a belief that's more than just a myth in Vietnam. Imagine you're a student in Vietnam, preparing for a crucial exam. As the date approaches, you start to notice something unusual: your classmates avoiding the barber. It turns out that in Vietnamese culture, cutting your hair before an exam is considered bad luck. The belief is that a haircut before a test could lead to memory loss, causing you to forget everything you've studied. To avoid this potential misfortune, students are advised to schedule their haircuts after the exam. This superstition highlights the importance of certain behaviors and rituals in Vietnamese society, where traditional beliefs are still deeply ingrained. In Vietnam, it is considered bad luck to cut your hair before exams due to the belief that it could lead to memory loss, a superstition that reflects the cultural significance of certain rituals in Vietnamese society. Fact 4. Want to know how Vietnamese families kick off their New Year? In Vietnam, the Lunar New Year, known as Tet, is a time of celebration and tradition. One such tradition involves the first guest who enters a house after the New Year. Vietnamese believe that the luck of the household for the entire year is determined by this first visitor. Families go to great lengths to ensure that the first guest is a favourable one. Some may step outside and re-enter the house right after midnight, while others may arrange for a fortunate friend to be the initial guest. This practice showcases the superstitious nature of Vietnamese families during Tet, as they seek to start the year on a positive note. Vietnamese believe that the first guest entering their house after the New Year determines their luck for the year, a tradition deeply rooted in Tet celebrations. Fact 5. Ready for another surprising Vietnamese tradition? Picture this. You're in Vietnam, exploring the vibrant street food scene. Among the array of dishes, you come across something intriguing: fertilized duck eggs, known as hot vit lon. What makes these eggs special is not just their taste, but also the belief surrounding them. In Vietnamese culture, it is believed that eating these eggs in odd numbers can reverse bad luck, The word lon in Vietnamese means to reverse, and consuming the eggs in odd numbers is thought to counteract any negative effects of bad luck. To enjoy these eggs, they are traditionally served with a combination of Vietnamese coriander, ginger, and a sauce made of salt, pepper, and lemon. Vietnamese people eat fertilized duck eggs, hot vịt lon, in odd numbers to reverse bad luck, a practice deeply rooted in traditional beliefs. Fact 6. What do you know about the most common surname in Vietnam? In Vietnam, it seems like everyone is called Nguyen. This surname is incredibly common, shared by an estimated 30 to 40% of the population. The prevalence of the name can be traced back to Vietnam's history of Chinese rule, which lasted for over 1,000 years. During this time, Chinese-style surnames were introduced, leading to the widespread use of the name Nguyen. The name Nguyen is believed to have originated from the Chinese word ruan, which refers to an ancient string instrument. Over time, it became one of the most popular surnames in Vietnam, highlighting the country's rich and diverse cultural heritage. Everyone is called Nguyen in Vietnam, a surname that is very common and has its origins in Chinese influence during Vietnam's history. Fact 7. Ready to be surprised by a unique grooming habit that has cultural significance? If you ever find yourself in Vietnam, particularly in the company of older men, you might notice something peculiar: long, pinky fingernails. But these nails aren't just for show, they serve a practical purpose. The tradition of growing long, pinky fingernails dates back to ancient dynastic days when long nails were a symbol of wealth and status, indicating that one didn't engage in manual labor. Over time, this practice evolved into a cultural tradition associated with culture, breeding, and wealth. In addition to their symbolic meaning, these long nails are also used for practical purposes, such as scratching and ear cleaning. Many people in Vietnam, particularly older men, have long, pinky fingernails used for self-ear cleaning, a tradition with deep cultural significance. Fact 8. Love coffee. Then picture yourself in a quaint cafe in Hanoi, surrounded by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Amidst the hustle and bustle, you order a cup of Vietnamese egg coffee, also known as café trung. But wait, egg in coffee? Yes, you heard that right. Vietnamese egg coffee is a unique concoction that originated in Hanoi in 1946 during a milk shortage. Nguyen, a bartender at the Metropole Hotel, got creative and experimented with egg yolk as a substitute for milk. To his surprise, he discovered that beaten egg yolk, when mixed with sweetened condensed milk, created a creamy and thick consistency that complemented the bitterness of espresso perfectly. Vietnamese people make coffee with egg, creating a unique and decadent drink known as Vietnamese egg coffee, or café trung. Fact 9. Think you know all about gestures? Think again. Imagine you're in Vietnam, trying to communicate with the locals. You might be accustomed to crossing your fingers for luck or to express hope. However, in Vietnamese culture, this gesture is considered incredibly rude. Why? Because in Vietnamese tradition, crossing your fingers resembles female genitalia, which is considered taboo and vulgar. This gesture is so offensive that it's comparable to the middle finger in American culture. Using it towards another person can be highly disrespectful and insulting. Crossing your fingers is considered super rude in Vietnam because the gesture resembles female genitals, a taboo in Vietnamese culture. Fact 10. Ever looked at a map and noticed something unique about Vietnam's shape? If you take a closer look at a map, you'll notice that Vietnam is uniquely shaped like the letter S. This S-shaped country in Southeast Asia is bordered by China to the north and Laos and Cambodia to the west, with the South China Sea lying to the east and south. Vietnam's distinctive shape is the result of a historical process of unification and territorial expansion. In 1975, Vietnam successfully united and connected a strip from the north to the south, resulting in a shape that resembles the letter S. It has a wide top and bottom and a narrow middle, making it easily recognizable on maps. Vietnam is uniquely shaped like the letter S, a distinctive feature that sets it apart geographically. And with that said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, surely you'll love this video about another interesting country.